What up, guys? Rob here and
Tay. And
back at you
with another video / podcast.
I don't remember if we said it in our previous video, but
we will be doing podcasts discussing various topics.
yes, we're gonna be dipping our toes in that a little bit.
For everybody, not just men, not just women.
Men and women, we us old timers want to kind of shed our wisdom a little bit here.
I feel like we're good talkers, so I feel like people want to hear us, right?
He's a good talker. I feel like I'm just now starting to become a little bit of a better talker, but he's kind of.
Well, yeah, everyone says I talk fast, so I'm gonna definitely slow down.
You talk fast.
I'll slow down for this.
You talk fast. It's what you do.
Yeah, that's what I do. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Today's topic is, you want to tell them?
Today's topic is we're going to be discussing YouTube. What it is to be a YouTuber.
The ins and outs.
What it is.
From beginning, like the hardships of the beginning.
The good, the bad, the expectations, the reality.
The grind, dude. Like what it takes.
I think you said the crying, and I was
no,
like, yeah,
the
crying.
The grind and what it takes.
Yes.
Even the money side of it.
The money, the everything. We're gonna kind of talk about that. We're gonna try to dissect the topic a little bit. We're gonna try our best. Like what he just said. This is our first podcast, and I'm unfamiliar with this. He is very unfamiliar with this.
Be very free flowing. We'll just try to give it our best shot, and be very clear for any. This will be a good for anyone who's interested in YouTube at all. This would be a good video for you guys. So
exactly. We're not claiming that we know everything, but this is just the 3, 4, whatever, how long we've been doing it, the years of what we've learned in those years.
The first thing we should probably talk about is the starting out period. When you just wake up and you decide you want to start a YouTube channel.
What are the steps, what you do, how you go about doing it. So essentially, the starting out is not too difficult.
Oh yeah, almost anyone can do it.
Yes. So what we, I think, ended up doing is we ended up buying a camera. Honestly, nowadays, these are so good. You can genuinely start off using your phone, and you can
genuinely,
there are big channels today that have millions of followers who are filming off their iPhones or Samsungs, and they are doing just fine.
You can do it, so do not let I don't have a DSLR. Don't let the camera stop you from doing it. You can do it on any modern day camera phone.
I remember my biggest excuse when I started of why I kept delaying it is I wanted a better camera, this and that. Put all those off to the side. Be confident with what you want to do and just start doing it.
Exactly, and also back to the start. Find out what you want to do. It's kind of good to have at least the idea of what you want to film. Having 1 or 2 ideas is cool, but like if you're gonna seriously start it, you kind of want to have
a niche.
A niche, like something that you see yourself maybe doing. I know it changes. We'll get to that. It changes, but you kind of want to have a starting idea or a starting point of what you want to do.
Yes, the niche is the biggest thing. That's something that we're struggling with, and actually that's why we started doing this. And we're hoping it's going to be a thing. But a niche is huge with YouTube because here's the thing: when you do just a little bit of everything, it's hard to find an audience. I mean, we've been doing this for how long, and we've only got I don't want to say it like that, like I'm not grateful, but for the amount of years we put in, we just hit 1,000 subscribers. But that is because
we have a broad range of videos. We did almost everything. You name it, we kind of did it.
Yes, so pretty much the people who have subscribed like us for who we are. Versus
not really for what we're doing.
Exactly.
Because one day we will be doing a food challenge, and then the next day we're doing something
car video,
car related.
Vlog, it's just we're kind of all over the place, and that's a mistake that I wish. If I could go back, I think I would change that.
Try your best. You can always start off having fun and doing different things, but the way YouTube is now, it's so overly saturated. It would be in your best interest to
find out what you're good at.
Yeah.
Find out what you have fun doing and stick to that and work on it. Also, your profile page. Make your page look good. Make it presentable.
Put some time into it.
Yes, make it look really nice. Get a nice profile picture. Template, all that kind of stuff. Make sure you do all that. Make it so that way when someone clicks on your video, clicks from your video to your profile, it doesn't just look like a regular profile. It looks like you've actually put effort into it. People respect that.
And I think one of my final points of starting out, it's okay to not be comfortable in front of a camera.
Yeah.
For me, it was like that. It was definitely more of a okay, dude. I'm awkward. It's not take 5. Like I'm doing it bad. Be okay with being uncomfortable in front of the camera. It's okay. That's never good. That almost even like now today. Like we had multiple takes of the intro, which none of them still may not be good. You're never gonna be what you like a movie star right away at least. So be okay with being uncomfortable. That's how you grow. That's how you get better.
When you consistently do it, you will start being comfortable. Another thing is if you don't end up using a phone and you use a camera, make sure when you're looking at it, look at the camera the lens where it's actually taking the video. Like this is right now I'm looking at the lens, and now I'm looking at the preview where I'm looking at myself.
Yeah. Look at the lens.
You want to look at your audience, so that's something.
I think so. That's a good starting guide.
Yeah.
For if you want to start out.
Yeah,
right?
I think it's just starting. It's literally as simple as getting up, saying you're going to do it, and that's it. There's not much to it.
Yeah, don't think too much into it. Don't overly. I get it. But moving on.
Yes.
We got what expectations? Oh, this is a good one.
Yes.
So you're not gonna wake up with 1 million subscribers.
No, unless you get lucky, but just don't bank on that. There are some people who I've seen and they just blew up overnight. It's probably not going to happen.
Expectations need to be, and I understand, right? Everyone wants to live that YouTube life. The YouTube life, right? Yeah. That's what people want. The YouTube life, no real job, just vlogging around, going to California. Life. Realistic expectations are key, right? Make realistic expectations. What do you end goal, and what do you see for yourself? Like for us, it's fun, right? We want to do it for a hobby, for fun, and then it's always in the back of our heads where it was. If it blows up, great, but we're not going to just do it going into, we're doing this as a job. Because once it becomes a job, it becomes not fun. Okay? So keep, at least my piece of it, keep your expectations reasonable. I would always start off, I would always recommend that you start off, with it being a fun hobby at heart first.
Yes.
Right? Something that you're genuinely interested in doing before you start thinking about what may never happen. Because, to be honest, it may never happen. So that's my piece on it.
And, I mean, bouncing off, kind of going off what he was saying, I mean, with the expectations and whatnot, expect to eventually, if you do treat it like a job, like how he was explaining it earlier, you're going to burn out, like kind of, because I feel 100%. Like we did treat this like, we like doing it, but we also had that mindset of we have to treat this like a job so that we would put in X amount of hours and do this every day.
The consistency,
Yeah, you should be consistent, but you need to be realistic about your expectations.
Exactly.
If you work or if you go to school, are you going to be able to sit down for 2 or 3 hours every day?
And how long will you be able to keep that up? That question. How long can you keep it up? Maybe for 2 weeks, but can you keep it up?
We did it for about a year, okay? But then one day we just kind of, I feel like we hit rock bottom. I was exhausted mentally, even physically.
100%, dude. The amount of time. Go. Expectations, you guys. Just be realistic in what you want and what you like, and be honest with yourself, with your partner, whoever you're doing it with, or even if you're doing it by yourself or a group of people. Be honest, right? And if it is more than one person, I would say, you guys, it'll definitely be easier to do it by yourself because you have no one to depend on but yourself, right? You hold yourself accountable, and when there's another person or 2 people involved. They may have a bad week. They may have a bad month. It might not be this.
Sometimes, ideas clash and be like, I don't really like that idea. I think this idea is better, this and that happens. And that's happened with us plenty of times.
You got to understand your expectations, what you want for your channel. Be open. You're not a CEO. Just relax. Just understand, kind of have that point A, point B, and just, I would say almost like take it, like starting out, taking it like leisurely until you can actually like get going.
Have fun with it.
Yeah.
Have fun with it.
Have fun.
And don't set unrealistic expectations for yourself.
Because you will fall out of love.
Yes.
You will not like doing it.
Yes.
Especially when you see no results. You put in all that work.
You get like 10 views in the beginning. It drains you mentally. It really, really does.
I think that's a good point to going into the next topic, which is reality.
Yeah. Yeah, like after
the reality of it.
The reality, I guess the I don't know if you'd call it the midway, but the middle, like once you've been doing it for a while, you're comfortable, and it's like, oh man, I kind of thought I would have 1,000, 10,000 subscribers by now.
The reality of what you're actually putting out, the work you're putting in, and you could be putting in the most, I don't know how many times I've seen Rob here putting in hours grinding on the editing. We wake up to 12 views. Listen.
Staying up till 6 a.m.
The reality.
Going to work at 8.
It may not. And it goes hand in hand with expectations. If you set reasonable expectations, your reality won't get crushed as bad. It may still get crushed, but you just be realistic, you guys. Because I'm telling you now, we've been doing it for a while now. We have not been the most consistent. We have definitely.
We were.
No, we were in the beginning.
We were, just not recently.
We were in that phase that we were talking about, the treating it like a job, consistently, just grinding it out. Yep. But listen, there were still days, even with us posting once every 2-3 days, you wake up like, how does it only have 8 views? Editing time and your effort does not always correlate to views. That's not how it works. So
no, and you might look at a video and say this is gonna do amazing. How many times have we made a video where we're like, this is gonna
the editing
absolutely amazing, it looks beautiful, and then we get like no views. Versus sometimes we'll make a video and be like, it's okay, and then it does really well.
So I still don't understand that, but that's a true point. Like, there's been dudes like, I mean, there's been, I don't know, man. It's even for me, I'm telling you now, the reality. Just make sure you have a grasp on reality, and just
don't look. My recommendation is don't look at numbers.
You think so?
Like, honestly, yeah, you have to look at numbers to say, okay, these types of videos are doing well, these are not. Maybe I need to start seeing what I'm doing in these good videos to see what I'm doing correct versus these bad ones. Maybe I need to change. But I'm saying, don't see like you have 120 subscribers and be like, why isn't that going up? Why isn't that will drain you? I think work. Look at what kind of videos you're putting out. Look at the type of videos you're putting out. Look at what's doing well. But I would personally say don't maybe look at subscribers as much.
Yeah, because then I can see how that has negative implications within your brain, your confidence levels. There's so many things that can be affected negatively if you're only focusing on the numbers. So I agree.
And even certain videos, you like, let's say for example you have a video that does 1,000 views, right? But then there's like these numbers, parameters that you can look at in the YouTube app, and it'll tell you, if you have this 8-minute video, people are only watching 20 seconds of it, but it has a lot of views. If you're only averaging 20 seconds, maybe that just means you have a good thumbnail, so people are clicking on it, but then you're in that video, and it's just, there's something about it that's not interesting. You can actually see in the app where people are watching your video the most. Like if you have an 8-minute video, they'll see at the 4-minute mark, that's where a lot of people are getting attention, but then after that, people are starting to drop. So you look at, okay, what am I doing at 4 minutes? Why do people like this? And then what am I doing after that where people don't like it, and why are they starting to leave? So I think that's the stuff you want to focus on, not the actual subscriber count.
So be aware. I'd say be aware. Definitely be aware, and treat it seriously, but don't let it engulf you. Do not let it consume you, because if it consumes you,
especially in the beginning, like this is YouTube is, it's a hobby. But it's like also, it's like an art. Like you're not, the first day you pick up a pencil, you're not going to do good.
Right, 100%.
You have to learn. You have to develop skills and
you have to genuinely want to do it, because as most hobbies or anything fun, if you genuinely don't like doing it, you're not going to keep doing it.
No.
So
here's the thing: you can go to a job. Mm-hmm. You cannot like the job, but you can still do the job properly, and you can kind of whatever. This is, if you want to look at this as a job,
unpaid
job. That you're not enjoying, when you're on camera, that's going to show. You can't fake that.
Yeah. You
can only fake it so well. So you enjoy it, because I think that'll reflect on your videos.
Right. And going to the next point, all about endurance, man. So I was thinking this in my head. It's not a sprint, right? It's not, I'm going to make 20 videos, and by 20 videos I need to have this many subscribers. I need to have this many. It's that you've already turned back and redo it again, because that your whole mindset needs to change. Mm-hmm. You may never make it, right? That's just the harsh reality. You may never be YouTube famous. You may never get 2,000 views. You may never, and it's not. What do you want to call it? The YouTube algorithm, or like the chances of it, like that. This isn't something that
you gotta remember. You're literally competing with millions and millions and millions of people, and not to put anyone down, there's always going to be someone better than you.
Always. And it's always going to be doing something. Someone else may want to click on this video and say, hey, dude, there's so many different variables. If you're going to do this and you're trying to do it be in it for the long haul, just keep endurance in your mind. Just keep, that ties back into the love. You have to actually want to do it. And by you wanting to do it, endurance becomes nothing, because you're going to always genuinely want to do it. Yes. The moment you decide it's a job, and it's an unpaid job that's actually taking your time, the moment that's decided in your head is the moment your video starts losing quality. You stop being consistent. The moment that happens for you.
And I guess we should make this clear. This is just, we're talking from our perspective. Some people might look at it as a job, and they might be fine. Because some people might just be money motivated, for example. I love money, but it's not all I really care about. I also want to enjoy what I do. So we're not saying like this is the rule 100%, and you have to follow this rule or you're not going to make it. No.
Right, it's our perspective. We believe that the core should come from not looking at it as a job.
Yes, and I feel like we've kind of said a lot of negative things, like you might not make it, you might not.
Look, but listen, what happens when you have a job and you don't like it? Do you just stay there forever?
Some people do.
But but you would like to say that if it's a job that you don't like doing, you're going to leave that job. Mm-hmm. Or your work's going to not be good at that job.
Correct.
So it's like, if you're looking at it as that from the beginning, then you can't. You're kind of giving yourself a ceiling because the moment you stop liking it, the moment you stop liking it or loving it, then there goes your effort.
I think our perspective is what most people think, but I guess all I'm trying to say is there might be some people who are an outlier. Like they might not, they might not think like what we do, and they might make it, but I just don't think it's the right way to go.
No, yeah, for sure. Like you said, there's different perspectives. We're not knocking anybody.
No.
We're just giving you from our experience, from small YouTubers, whatever you want to call us, from what we've learned and what we felt.
Yes. And then kind of bouncing off what we were just talking about with jobs, the next thing we kind of should talk about is money.
Oh my gosh.
Have spent, I don't even know what number is in my head, but like
I think you can just say thousands.
No, easily.
You can just say thousands.
Easily.
Upward thousands.
We have spent there's things that you just don't think about when making these videos. Like this kind of video doesn't really cost much. We're actually at, we're at a college right now.
So he's right. Yeah, keep going.
But like certain stuff, like for example, when we're filming food videos, food is expensive. Bro. And then like for example, we carved a pumpkin. You got to think of the cost of the pumpkin. We went and bought the knives, and then we made like a slime video. We had to go buy the stuff to make the slime. We had to go there's things that you don't think about. I guess all I'm trying to say is, don't think you're just not going to have to spend any money at all. You're going to have to spend money.
And we hate it. It sounds like a negative, but listen, this is realistic. Like, yes. You wake up, right? We just went through the whole spiel of endurance, the reality, your expectations. We just went through. Now, just tack on spending some of your money on it. If you don't love it,
and probably not getting any money in return for
no, you're not. Just imagine. I want that to be, like, known. Like, obviously, picking your niche, like, understand. It's going to cost you. Yeah. Unless you pick something like this, which is like, this is our first experience doing something like this. I like it because we spent $0.
No, we spent gas to get here. Yeah, you have to think about stuff like that too.
So it's like everything. Look at our channel. Everything that we've done, right? From the food challenges to the events we went to, car shows, from even like the challenges, anything that
there's stuff we're not even thinking about. Yeah. But if I go back and look at my videos, I'm be like, I had to spend money for this. I had to spend money for that. I had to do this. I had to do that. It's stuff you do not think about.
And you gotta put like a slash mark there because it's money and time.
Yes.
Like you said, the gas. You also made me think of the time. The gas, the time it takes to plan it and execute, along with the dollar spent, is not to be unsung. That's actually something that's almost as important as it's almost as important as anything, because if you pick something, right, and you pick a category that I want to do food challenges, or I want to do car videos, right? Yeah. Tell me how long I can keep up spending money to make car videos, especially if I'm not getting paid by what I'm paying. Think about that for a second. Like,
if you're an average Joe,
I'm definitely maybe, but I'm a below average Joe, and there's no way I have no business buying car parts. I have zero business buying car parts, and there's no way you can keep up with that. And you have to look at in a way, I mean, I don't want to get consumed by it, but you have to look at who else is doing your type of videos with your same type of thing. Like, if you're doing food challenges, who else is doing food challenges? How often are they doing them? How often are you doing them? Mm-hmm. So it's like you have to look at all these things, and then you don't want to get caught up in the competition of like, I need to, spend. It's money's a big thing.
It is.
It's a very big thing, man, and I hate to say it. This is the world we live in, but almost everything costs money.
It does. Just be prepared to spend money, and
at least at the very minimum, get ready to spend your time
and not get that money back.
Yeah, you will not.
We've made $200.
Yeah, you won't.
We've made $200 for I don't know how many videos we've made. Maybe 100 videos. Have we made 100 videos?
I think we made. I hope we made 100.
I remember we counted it a long time ago. Let's just pretend we've made 100 videos. We've made $200.
Understand that money will become a thing.
Yes.
And if you don't love it, you are not going to want to spend money on it.
Mm-hmm. We were. I remember when we were doing it like a lot consistently every day. We would wake up, we'd go work our job, come back, film, edit for like anywhere from 2 to 8 hours, depending on the type of video you make, go to sleep, wake up, do the same thing every day.
Imagine this.
Every day.
Back to the job thing. Imagine going to work, but having to pay your employer, right? Because that's what you have to. You have to pay. You're paying to do YouTube at that point. Mm-hmm. Imagine going to work. So the people that see it as a job and it may help you. Imagine going to work, but you're paying to do that. You're not getting paid from it. You're paying to keep that going. Mm-hmm. And then imagine seeing no results. I'm just speaking in the negative light because I feel like a lot of it's just do it.
Everyone's so positive about it. I think we're just trying to be a little realistic. And now that being said, there is a lot of good.
No, yeah, for sure.
There is a lot of good. But I don't want to get to that. Let's maybe get to the next idea.
And that is the ideas. The ideas.
Didn't we kind of talk about that already?
Kind of, but let's just touch base on it again because we have it on our board. You're gonna. Yeah, I'm glad we should touch base on this again. You're gonna run out of ideas. Yeah. Right. You just to say it black and white. You're gonna run out, especially if you are specific to one category. There's only so much you can do with anything, especially if you're living in a certain area. You can't just travel all around to try different types of food. Because for example,
and if you don't have money,
holy cow,
there's certain things that you can't do.
Do you see how we're having full circle moments? You wake up and you want to do food challenges, right? That's your channel. You're doing food challenges, and you can think of on your original planning board. There's 100 restaurants that you're gonna go review food for, or whatever you think you might want to do. You want a food review channel. That 100 is gonna disappear eventually. Yeah, and it's not like they're just gonna come up with new. No. You're eventually, what we're saying is it may take years, but eventually you're going to run low on originality reviews. You're going to start seeing yourself maybe taking something from someone else or redoing something.
Which is okay.
Yeah, but you're going to run, the ideas is something that's never talked about enough, I feel like. And that's kind of why we were so wide in our variety of what we were doing, because it was like, well, we kind of already did this. So I was like, I mean, we should, it's kind of like
I kind of felt like a lot of the videos we were like taking step backs in certain things. It's like, well, we kind of already did this, but what else are we going to do it? Okay, let's just film this, let's just do this and try to maybe add a few twists to it and make it seem a little different. But he's definitely not wrong. You kind of, eventually at one point, I feel like in the beginning it's easy.
Think so?
Ideas, because you don't, like, I feel like you're still, I want to say something actually before I forget. Keep no, not a notepad, but you have your phone nowadays. Like, make notes on your phone, because if you're in the middle of the day, and you just get a thought, and you're like, oh, this would be a great idea. I guarantee you the next day you are going to forget what that idea was. Oh, yeah. It happens. I don't know how many times it's happened with us.
Yeah.
Make notes. Like, if you just come up with something, make notes.
Write it down.
Just be like, oh, okay, this is a great idea. And then at the end of the week or when you're ready to film, what was that idea again? You can go to your notes and be like, oh, yeah, okay, sweet. That happens a lot more than you think, especially if you come up with, I have times where I kind of get into, like, this, I don't know, my brain just gets into like overload. I'll think, oh, that's a great idea, that's a great idea, that's a great idea, great. And then there are other times where I'm like, I cannot think of a single thing.
And that happens. You're human.
Yeah.
But we're telling you what happens. It's gonna happen. Don't just think that you're just gonna keep. No, because YouTube is YouTube is no end date. So it's like it ends when you give up. So if you're gonna keep doing it and you're gonna keep doing it and you're gonna keep doing it, understand that your ideas are gonna be finite. So. Yeah, just when it comes to ideas, I would say try to keep an open mind. I know people want to stick to their things, but try to keep an open mind. Try to be original. Original is a big thing, but just know that someone out there on YouTube, if you're doing a video, someone's done it before, and
don't get discouraged when you do run out of ideas, because you will, and it's very, very normal. At least in our case, it was.
No, yeah, for sure, 100%.
So
that's a bit on that for me, at least.
Yeah. The next thing we need to talk about is failure.
Ooh, the thing that no one wants to talk about.
Yeah.
The failing of YouTube. Dude, yeah. Go ahead.
You have to be okay with putting in everything that we just said. You have to be okay with doing all of that, and then one day possibly just just give, like...
nothing.
Yes.
You may never...
Literally.
Like you said, we made $200 in 5-6 years.
Yes.
You may never get... anything, and it has nothing to do with your effort or how good you are.
You might be the most amazing person out there with the best personality and the most amazing skills, but somehow it just doesn't work
that
out.
Is a very real possibility, and it's partially because of how saturated YouTube is, or just maybe, I don't know what the reasons are. The algorithms, we can sit here all day and talk about that. That's very different, but there is a high I don't even want to say a little there is a high possibility that you will get absolutely nothing out of everything you put into YouTube. You must be okay with that to even remotely think you're going to be doing it.
There are a lot more failed people who have tried YouTube than there are people who are successful.
I wouldn't say a lot. A lot of people. Almost everyone fails.
The ones that fail, you don't hear about them. Mm-hmm. You don't. But like, how many? I can't really put a number, and I wonder if there's a stat online, which would kind of be interesting to look at. But I wonder how many people a day start YouTube. How many people a day make a YouTube account for the first time and they start YouTube? Now, let's just lowball it and say 50,000? I feel like I'm really lowballing it. Are you saying that for it to be a balance, there would have to be 50, on the other side, there would have to be another 50,000 people who make it big in that same day? That's not happening.
That's with a 50% success rate. 50K.
But I'm lowballing the. I'm just trying to be generous here.
Dude, that's a like I said, it's not really much. Like I said, I'm gonna say this, and this will be my last bit on it. Understand that you may fail, not to discourage you. Understand that there's a very real possibility, and it may just happen. You just have to be aware of that, And
you have to be okay with it.
Yeah, just be okay with it, and you'll be okay. But
if you listen to what we said earlier, if you treat this as a hobby and you do fail,
then
you won't be upset about it.
Right, it'll be less of a dampering on your motivation.
Yeah.
What it does. Back to what Rob was saying. If you treat this thing from the beginning as a hobby, as something fun, then if you do fail, it won't do as much damage to you on the inside. It won't be seen as much of a failure. It'll just be as a hobby that didn't work out. But
it's like someone who likes to play football but never made it to NFL. You still enjoyed the process and you still liked it. The
moment you become extra serious, uber serious, this is my life, and it doesn't work,
that's when hit the fan.
Yeah. So that's my piece on it. Just be aware, please be aware that you may not ever make it.
And then the next topic, consistency. We kind of did
consistency. You gotta be. It's endurance. Okay. Yeah, we kind of touched on that.
Now, all this being said, there is a lot of good that comes with it. So when me and him, for example, stopped filming for over a year, we maybe put a video out every now and then, but I don't even count that. We stopped making videos. I mean, you have to realize you still have all these videos online that you can just go back to and watch. And I don't know how many times I've went back and watched and clicked on a video and be like, I forgot we made this video. And I'd watch it and I'd be so happy and I'd laugh and I'm like, oh, this was a great time. You're making memories.
You're literally making memories. It's a wonderful thing, low key. Like you're making a videography of your life.
Really,
you will always have those to go back to. So that is definitely that's a big positive you should take out of it. No one can take your videos from you. You lived those memories. You were there. You were the one. You guys were there. Understand that, and that's a good positive to hold on to for sure. The memories. That's almost like one of the biggest things. The biggest.
It is. It really is. I mean, some people have photos. You have videos. You have videos online,
and you will always be able to look back,
capturing the good, the bad, your personality, and like it's very, very cool. Like I was just saying this. I was watching. I think 2 weeks ago, I was just kind of like binging our old videos, and I was like, oh my god, I cannot believe we did that.
You will always, and I guess this is nowhere near as big as what Rob said, but for me, a positive is that it helps you become more dedicated to certain things in your life, right?
Teaches you discipline.
It really does. So like, if you actually put effort into this, which most of you will put effort into this to some extent, it helps. When you're scheduling and you're planning, it helps you with those things that are passively in your background that you don't really want to take note of, but it really does help you with those type of things. Schedule things that may help you down the line. Like it helps you become, like you said, more disciplined, and you're more organized, and you're more. There's definitely positive takeaways from this. It's not just it's not just negative.
I would argue there's more positive than negative. Yeah, I know we touched a lot on the negatives up front, but that's also because like what I was thinking earlier. I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about like
they don't, and that's why we needed to address it because they don't.
And I'm more of a realistic person, and I'm the type of person if I'm going to get into something, I want to hear the truth of it. I don't care if it's bad. I don't care if it's good. I want to know how it really is. So that's I think why we're touching on bad, but that does not mean that there is not a lot of good. I would argue there's more good than bad, 100%.
The amount of fun you have, making the videos, right? It doesn't matter what you're doing. We're out 3 a.m. downtown shooting my car videos or like
my hand's frozen.
Dude, you will have fun.
And you'll meet a lot of people.
No, you will.
You'll meet a lot of people.
The amount of fun you have is alone worth any negative that you may go through because you're going to have fun doing it. That's why we do it, right? We do it because we love it, and with love comes fun. You will absolutely have fun doing it, and I would never take back any of it. You can't.
No, I mean, like we stopped filming for X amount of time. Why are we back filming again?
Because it's fun. And
like
we love
literally,
doing it. Like that's literally
this is something that is actually enjoyable.
We made when we're back, but it's not for the money. We're back. Like it's fun. We
Money
like
is
doing
not
it.
what I'm thinking because, like what we were saying before, expect to fail.
Yeah, I kind of
I don't care. Like this is.
So
I enjoy it.
There's definitely the good, the bad, the ugly, but take away the positives because that's really what it's about, right? Like that's take it for what it is. You know, you like doing something, just enjoy doing it, and that way you don't see it. I mean, could you say that you don't see it as a job? People may argue that, oh, well, I just love my job. So it's not the same. You need to have the core of having fun, loving doing it, and I think that's
you can worry about the job aspect when you're actually making a living off doing it. In the sense, sure, call it your job. You can still like doing it, but it's going to take a while to get to that point anyway. So I that's why I don't like to call it a job anyway.
So yeah, there's definitely lots of fun. Like I said, more fun than bad, more good than bad. So like I think they're probably sick of us talking now. So what do you think? Let's wrap it up. What do you think the truth of? If you had to come up with a couple of sentences, where's the truth of YouTube? What would you say?
The truth of YouTube.
The truth. Like what's your truth? If you had to be honest about YouTube in 2 sentences, as someone new who wants to start a channel or someone who's been in it who's looking for motivation, what's your truth?
I love that you said motivation because I'm going to say one thing right now. I don't believe in motivation. I genuinely don't. No. I think you're going to eventually... Motivation only lasts so long. Mm-hmm. I think if you want to become successful at doing something, you just have to suck it up and keep doing it.
So what do you say the discipline and motivation scale is like? 60-40?
20-80.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I mean, how long can you be motivated for? Maybe this is just me.
They're handed... keep going.
I not saying that, like, most of the videos that we would film, it would be, like, sometimes I would go in it initially being like, man, I'm tired. I don't know if I want to film. But then we would do it anyway, but then I would enjoy the process. I wasn't motivated to do that, because if I was motivated, I would have gotten up out of bed. That would have been the first thing I thought about. I'm just being honest.
That's a good point.
I really am just being honest. Like, this because we just started, I kind of was excited. Like, for example, we planned on filming last week. Mm-hmm. We didn't film last week.
But you can argue that we're still motivated to come do it here today. The motivation
Why
was
didn't
still
we do
there.
it last week?
We may not have been that motivated, but the motivation was still there.
That's I guess all I'm trying to say is do not rely on motivation.
Alone, yeah. So, for me, I think it's more of a 70-30 split, maybe 60-40 even, and determination
Which is
being,
which?
The determination, the discipline being the bigger number.
Okay.
I would say it's 60-40 discipline and motivation. I'm going to tell you why. And someone can make a strong argument of it being 50-50 or even the other way, but for me, right? Rob gave you a spiel for me.
I think more negative though, to be honest with you. I do.
But for me, I do believe motivation is a big part of it, because with motivation comes motivation and your love to do it work hand in hand. If you're just disciplined to do it,
but you can love something,
but
like also be motivated to do it.
But discipline you don't really normally affiliate the word discipline with love. Right? When you think about discipline, you're thinking about the discipline of working out, or the discipline of waking up eating your protein shake, or the discipline of going to work because you have to go to work, or you have to pay these bills. That's discipline.
Like when I do boxing, for example.
Yeah, you love it.
I love it, but I also need a lot of discipline to keep doing it. But I still really enjoy the process, but I still feel like if I didn't have discipline, I would not be doing it.
No, 100%. That's why I got discipline a little bit higher on my scale. The motivation part of it, I believe motivation is a big part of it. Rob says it's important too, but for me, have to be they work hand in hand, right? You can't have one without the other. I feel like if you just have only discipline and there's no motivation, then you kind of if you only have one motivation and you don't have any discipline, then motivation alone cannot carry you.
It's not gonna get you anywhere.
Because it's not gonna last. So you definitely need to have that, and I'm having my split at 70-30, maybe 60-40, because you need both, and that's my truth. You need to be willing. The discipline part of it, you need to be willing to do what you don't want to do. You need to be willing to stay on schedule. You need to be willing to spend that money.
Hours.
You need to be willing to spend your time. Willing to get out of your bed to do this. You worked 8 hours. You did homework for 2 hours. You have to be the discipline it takes to be able to be like you gotta be willing to do that, and that goes with motivation. That discipline comes from being motivated. I believe they work hand in hand. So I feel like that's my truth. Once you have that, you're off to a pretty good start.
Absolutely.
Still not guaranteed. By any means,
and that's okay though.
But that is what I'd say you should take away from it.
100%. If you love doing this, I think you should do it. Everything being said, if you guys are on the fence about doing it, I say just try, start. What do you have? What are you gonna lose?
You have absolutely.
Don't go out and buy a camera.
Yeah.
Start off with your phone, and just try it. See if you have fun with it. It might not be for you. It might be for you.
Dude, with all the TikTok and everything going on, bro, you can do it. Try.
Definitely.
At least try, and that's from me, that's from Rob, that's from Tay. You heard it here first, our first podcast, addressing YouTube in all aspects. At least we figured we covered it pretty well, right?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like we did. All that being said, I think we want to start doing podcasts a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
We need topics. Give us topics.
If there's something you want to hear about, we will definitely talk about it, and it'll be from our authentic POVs. Definitely give us topics. We have topics too that we'll come up with, but like definitely we'd love to hear from you guys. If you guys want to hear,
It can be serious topics. It can be non-serious topics.
the topic can be something like, it's a grill day or family barbecue. Are you picking up a hot dog or hamburger first? Right? That's you can talk about.
It might be
that.
a 2-minute video, but yeah.
Which one are you picking up first?
I might be interested in that. Like I don't know. So definitely give us
Our
your input.
acceptance rate is very high.
We are going to talk about it no matter how, as long as it's appropriate. We'll definitely be talking about it, even if it's what you might think is stupid. Put it in the comments. We're talking about it. And yeah.
Please follow us on our social media. We'll link it down below. Thank you guys for tuning in to this. There's got to be a name that we can come up with this.
Maybe give us names too.
Tay and Rob Talks or something. I don't know. We need a fluid
something.
name.
We'll have a podcast name for this, but definitely tune in next time for whatever this podcast is.
Yeah, and then we need to maybe put a lock on this door in this university and just turn this into our little YouTube studio.
Yeah. I think we'll be coming here a lot more.
Don't tell anybody. We're gonna put blinds here. You guys can't see what's going on, but we're in like the soul glass. We've seen like 4 people walk by and they're just staring at us.
Yeah.
Like, what are you guys doing? So
yeah, come join us. You want to be on the podcast? We'll start taking fans.
we're working on a project for school.
You want to come in and help us? Sure.
So thank you guys again for tuning in.
Until
I'm Rob.
next time, I'm
That's
Tay,
Tay.
and
We'll see ya. Adios. What up, guys? Rob here, back at you.
With another video / podcast. It's Tay though. That's so bad.
we need another take.
Why? I feel like I sucked.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
What's up, guys? Rob here.
What? No, because
What up, guys? Rob here. What up, guys? Rob here and
Tay.
Back at you.
It doesn't feel normal. That doesn't